Oh boy. Okay, so this one's kind of weird for me to talk about. Not really, but at the same time it is, because this is a game it took me a lot longer to beat it than I actually thought it would. Mostly because this is a game I actually really wanted to check out growing up. Yeah, these are the cutscenes. This is like how they go through the whole game. Digitized actors and whatnot. You get a quick plot out of this.
This is Lanny York with Channel 7 News. Our top story, Shifted's terror efforts have finally come to an end. T-0 smashed through the last of the gang resistance in their secret base.
Fun fact, the original title of this game was called Zero Tolerance, but because of a Sega Genesis game, which I've talked about and used facts for in other videos, that's the reason why it's not called that.
Expert Dr. Lloyd has confirmed a WMD would have crippled the country. He tells Channel 7 that the substations form a ring that connect every nuclear power station in the nation. If detonated, the WMD would send a thermal pulse across the country, causing a chain reaction of explosions. Dr. Lloyd,
yeah, that's what this whole thing's about. It's about this gang called the Burners going around
in a
being terrorists.
This morning, Nick Mason was awarded the Medal of Valor.
That's your character, by the way.
National award for valor for a police officer. Mayor Wyatt was
tons of stock footage.
In a city of heroes, Nick Mason stands heads above the rest. His bravery and skill are legendary. He has saved our country's freedom and once again has served his city with distinction, honor, and bravery. Channel 7, Nick, we salute you.
Yeah, so yeah, then you get things to explain the whole thing. So yeah, this is like the reason why this game kind of stood out for me a lot, especially when growing up, was because the back in the day of PlayStation 2, when of time I'm really nostalgic about.
Hey Nick, it wasn't the pizza. It's a package for you.
Oh, look at that! You get a thing from Ship It, which is like the terrorists' cover-up or whatever, and you go for it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, this is not my first playthrough, by the way. I decided just to do the one I concluded, so that's the reason why I kind of know where everything is. I was going to kind of try to play it out and kind of make it look like, oh, I did this all in one shot. But, yeah, that I didn't do that because I just feel like I just can't, because I think you're going to figure it out anyway. Yeah, apparently he, like in his apartment, he has a grenade launcher. Or safe house, whatever. Anyway, anyway, I played this game back during the days of OPM, Official PlayStation Magazine. They used to come with demos for a lot of games. And one of the demos, and this just shows how they actually do work. The marketing then. They used to actually give you they would give you a demo, and in the early days it was PlayStation 1, and then eventually they evolved to PS2, and so the plot, no, not plot, but one of the games that I really liked and I played the demo to death for was Urban Chaos Riot Response. I really wanted this game, and it took me quite some time before I finally got a copy of it. And I never did get it when it was when it was like on the shelves and all that. I got it like way after, and I was not proud of that. I didn't like the fact that I had to do that, but hey, that's life, Really wish I was able to check out the game when it first came out back then. And I was really surprised because I actually still enjoyed it. I still had a lot of fun playing it back then and now. So I just really am surprised it took me like almost 2 years to finish the whole game. I never actually like sat down and played it, even though this is a game I genuinely want to play. This is the reason why I kept all my systems. Like a lot of people think it's weird that like I kept all my systems growing up. Personally, this is people I know personally. They've told me, like, why don't you just trade it in and get yourself a new system? I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of like the old stuff still, and there's still a lot of old games I really want to check out, and unlike a lot of people who move on, I don't. I'm still more curious. I'm still, like, want to check these games out. I still actually want to check the games out just like I did back then. Like I can easily look past graphics. You know, no matter what generation it is, I can easily be like, you know what, this game it still looks fine to me. I appreciated the time. I still liked it as a kid. I like it now. And I think the reason why I liked the game so much was because it really stands out as a different kind of shooter. You know, you got the shield, so you know you kind of have like the time crisis thing going, but at the same time, some things don't make any sense. You don't have a sprint, which is kind of annoying, but you kind of learn to accept that. I like the taser thing. You know, it had the objectives. Like this time, this is how I usually don't play. I think I was just, since I was at the end, I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way. But usually I like try to get all the arrests. I try to get all the incapacitate, you know, enough people and get enough, you know, all the headshots and stuff. This is like the only, I think this is like one of the few times you'll ever see, like the only time I play. If you still look at it, I usually get one of them. I usually get at least one of the, at least like whether it be the no continues and all that stuff. Because otherwise I'd be like, nope, change over. But this time, I guess because it was the end, like the actual end, I decided to just do it. So that's the reason why I'm doing a video for this, because this is a game I actually genuinely enjoyed, a game I wanted to play, and I'm happy I played through it. Even though, like, in some regards, I was kind of sad. In some ways, I don't, like I said, it was kind of difficult at some points, especially when you're trying to do all the extra objectives. But for me at the time, this was a lot of fun. I still think the game for PS2, it looks pretty good. As you can see, there's some screen tearing. I don't know, that might be from my recording, but maybe not. I still have my PS2 hooked up to a CRT TV, because it actually looks more presentable that way. Yeah, but by the way, this is not the shield. If you ever decide to get it, you'll see that your shield you have at the like throughout most of the game is not this thing. You have a transparent shield, which kind of wish I had that when I was playing this level.
Mason, it's Wolf. We believe the call came from some bastard named Crocker. Our sources suggest he's the one who acquired the WMD. He's the burner warlord, their top man. This is our last chance to get him.
Yeah, the yeah, that's the quote-unquote, that's like the false ending, we'll call it. I don't know if you have to get a certain number of medals or something. Maybe that's like how the game actually ends, or if this is just like an extra thing that they thought of later, or they thought it would be better if it came off, since, you know, everyone's like, hey, we won, and then it turns out, you know, there's still stuff to do. Yeah, that's another thing about this game. You'll see, like, there's pretty much all the bad guys look the same. They don't change really at any point in the game. There is a good number of weapons. I do like the variety of weapons in this. And the thing is, it gets kind of ridiculous how many weapons you get, though, I gotta say. Not from necessarily the bad guy stuff, but there's also a number of quote-unquote, like, official weapons, like T0 stuff, zero tolerance. And they, like, basically, they're all quote-unquote controversial weapons, and the way you unlock them is you have to capture gang leaders. And they're called, like, and usually they kidnap somebody or something. You got to rescue them, and there are times they suck. I really hated doing those. But at the end of the day, you got a new weapon if you succeeded. You didn't have to get it. Like, you still had all the secondary objectives, but you didn't have to do them. All you had to do is just finish the mission, and then hey, you unlock the weapon permanently, or you get like extra, or you'll unlock like a certain kind of weapon, or something like stuff like that. So it was, so in the end it was worth it, but it was really annoying. Through the medals you find, more, yeah, she's in all of them. You get 3 little, I don't know, shots of adrenaline. I don't even know what that is. Apparently heals bullet wounds almost immediately, though, and, like, buzzsaw and, you know, burns and whatnot. I don't know exactly what it could be, but yeah, so, and I just enjoy it. By the way, if you hold your intent, like, even after you, because you can upgrade it, eventually you upgrade the taser after you get a certain number of medals. But what's great about it is if you hold on to it after you get it upgraded, like, it will literally barbecue them. Like, they'll, like, turn into, they actually go into a ball of flame. I thought it was funny. Yeah, the game's not perfect though. Far from it. Like I said, you can't really sprint, which got kind of annoying. Like more annoying than I thought it would be. Like it's one of those things you don't think you need that much until you actually start playing it. But you know, and like so you can't you can duck and all that. You can't jump, but you can duck. But it is get a little tricky at times. And that shield, while trust me, you'll be more than happy that you have it. It doesn't protect you from everything. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Basically, since it protects your forward body, just understand it doesn't get everything from the side, and you're not perfect. You're not invincible. You can bash people with the thing. I didn't really do that much. You can pick up all the weapons. That's actually one thing that does kind of suck is that you can't. You're not gonna find any ammo for any of the weapons you have. Like they don't. I don't think they do any like shared calibers thing. I mean, to be fair, as far as I can tell, anyway, that I remember, most of the weapons don't seem to be like the same, with the exception of shotguns. I'm willing to bet all the shotguns. There's multiple shotguns or 12 gauge, and yet for some reason they don't use the same kind of ammo. I don't know. Maybe they're not supposed to be. Like maybe one's supposed to be like a 20 and the other's a 12. I doubt it, but. I think they're both 12 gauge. I did not unlock everything. There's tons to unlock, and to be perfectly honest, after a while, like I said, I played this game for a long time, and while I enjoyed it, it was a fun ride, and I don't regret going through all of it. I gotta say that it was. I think after like holding off on it for so long, it probably did more negative. I think if I didn't like played it more diligently back in the day, I think even if I played it back then though, like if this is like one of the few games I have for PS2 growing up, I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have actually unlocked everything because that's way too long. And I don't even think I was that good to actually get, especially since FPSs. Well, I hate to say, well, I played a lot more than I am willing to admit. I'm not. They're still not my favorite. Like I said, I played a lot more than I'm willing to say. But at the same time, like I'm not really the biggest fan of them. But obviously, I get something out of them because I keep playing them, so I get like one thing or another out of them. But yeah, this game does have a lot going for it. If you enjoy, yeah, I don't think I used the grenade launcher at all. I didn't really use too many. I did play a little bit of other stuff a little bit later because I think after this, I recall I actually unlocked like one more weapon from the metal I got in this. But. Yeah, that's not your sidearm in the other game, by the way. You get it's a hand. It's like I think it's a fictitious handgun. At least it's not a gun that I'm aware of. In fact, most of the weapons, with the exception of like the civilian weapons, I don't think any of them are real. At least I don't recall them. Like this is like a civilian weapon. The 44 revolver. That's a civilian weapon, or or at least like the criminal weapons. All the criminal weapons seem to be like based off real weapons. All the T0 stuff, I think they're fake. At least like I said, at least I never heard of them. Yeah. So one thing I will say, even though I do like this game, the game is extremely repetitive. It's extremely repetitive. Like every mission is exactly the same. All the objectives are the same. Hey, get a number of incapacitations, get a number of headshots, capture the gang leader, incapacitate enough people, find no continues, don't die, in other words. Yeah, it's the same. Like you do, and there's always a hostage situation one way or another. So it's always the same stuff every single time, and it's at different times. It's not like always at the end it's a hostage situation or anything like that. Like in this case it is, but yeah. Like I said, it's an okay shooter. Like one of the biggest things I have to gripe about is the taser. They kind of screw it up at one point. Like at some point, you can just hold circle in all you want, and just for some reason he just doesn't pull it out. Or no, he'll pull it out, but he won't. He won't actually. Yeah, a headshot with a 44 mag, you'd be nothing but brain matter, man. Gray matter rather. Yeah, somehow you can like reload a revolver, and all your weapons for that matter, when you have your shield up. I don't know how he does it. I mean, just doing it all with one hand. Some of these things, I would imagine it's impossible to reload them with only one hand, but what do I know? Yeah. So, to me, the game is a lot of fun. I never regretted playing through it. Like I said, though, like eventually you have to say it's time to go. It's like any game you like or even hate, but this game really doesn't have much replay after its initial play, I have to say. It's the story is kind of basic. I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination, but
Thanks, man. That bastard's gonna waste me for sure. Ah! What the fuck? Get me down, you piece of shit! Ah! I'll kill you, you fucking pig! Ugh. No! Please! No! No! No!
okay, I think that would go very poorly PR-wise. I mean, I don't think it could have been prevented in a way, but at the same time, I think like they didn't do much to prevent it. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, you get the non-lethal Forcer, you know, sharpshooter. You get all this stuff. You get that. You get a medal. There's an elite mode, and there's also a riot mode, which I guess you can get even more medals. And I guess the more medals stuff you get, the more stuff you unlock. That's it. Like I said, the reason why I stayed on here for so long was because sometimes there's like a news report, and they go as like, hey, you know, this is good, and then they explain everything in the background. I didn't do that here, kind of surprisingly. So, yeah, you are in charge. Order team members to perform actions to help you keep them alive. Help you or keep alive, whatever.
This is Channel 7 News.
This is Lanny York reporting for Channel 7 News. In our top story, T-Zero hero Nick Mason fought off an unexpected, vicious and vengeful attack from Shift-It's terrorist elite. The battle was at his safe house uptown. Emergency services have swarmed the area and successfully defeated the gangs once and for all. Well, thousands of people are returning to rebuild their homes and their lives. The many months of inner-city war have taken huge physical and emotional toll. Mayor Riot inspired residents by saying, our city will rebuild, not only with bricks, but with a stronger bond between those who live here. It'll take months
Well, it
for
said
us
between
to
all,
repair our
but
city,
okay.
but our spirit is resolute, and our freedom burns brightly in our hearts and in our minds. We would like to take a moment to remember the emergency service crews and T-Zero members who gave their lives to protect our liberty. Without these brave souls, none of us would be free. If you would like to extend your own words of gratitude to Nick Mason and all the other brave heroes and their families, please contact us here at Channel 7. This is Lanny York signing off. Channel 7, as always, will be first for news in your city. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that there was no plans for a sequel. In fact, Urban Chaos Riot Response is an in-name only sequel to Riot Response. To Urban Chaos. It's a PlayStation 1 game. In fact, I actually don't know anything about Urban Chaos.
You have terror mode.
Terror mode. I think another reason why I really like this game is there's not really too many police shooters like this. I mean, there's like, you know, SWAT games, I guess, but there's not really like any like police like any kind of police game. Even if, like, this is more arcade. Obviously, this is not how it works in real life. I would never imagine cops would go around like this. But you know, there's not really any games like this. There's plenty of military games like this, but there's not really any like urban, you know, things like this. I mean, I know they did like Battlefield Hardline where they did stuff like that, but yeah. So that's my little my own look at a game I really wanted to check out growing up, and I'm glad I did. Honestly, if you like, this is available on PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, I believe. I don't know if it's on PC. I'd imagine it is, but back in that day and age, you'd be kind of surprised, like, what makes it to console/PC and what doesn't. But at any rate, I enjoyed Urban Chaos Riot Response. I'm glad I played through it. I'm willing to bet I'll probably look back on it one day, especially considering I played the demo to death as a kid, and now that I finally finished it after 2 years of kind of playing it and not playing it, I can see myself looking back on it, and I hope other people take a look at it as well. It's a fun game. Recommended. And that's my conclusion. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed it.